All right, so let's go to a different you think. All right. So like if you go on a 1 hour, right, you have to figure out your main push. If you do not know your main push, it's kind of impossible, right? So we understand that price is bullish. Price overall is bullish, right? So if you go on a daily, okay, price just made a higher high. So boom, right? Just made a higher high, right? You got two zones that's really on a daily basis that's like, my holder will give you a trades, right? So you got extreme and you got decisional that led to the BOS, right? That's as far as the daily. And you can understand what from low to high, that's where you at. So if you put your fib, okay, boom, low to high, you understand. You're far away. Okay? So that's one thing. Now if you drop down to the 4 hours, right? 4 hours is also bullish. We understand market is bullish. So this will be a decisional. Would this area be? This will be a supply to demand. Okay, so this area was a supply at some point. You can see here price react, fails, and break. These areas right here go for reaction. So you have one zone, two zone, three zones, right? And we're saying still at the high. We're on top of the market. So now drop down to the 1 hour, right? Okay, now I have some more information to work with. Now I'm not here anymore, right? I'm here on the 1 hour. So on a 1 hour basis, what can I see? Okay, this is the last low that led to this high. So this will be my dealing range, right? On the 1 hour. Boom. And we understand 1 hour, 15 minutes or what? Intra-session days, like to trade for just a day, 2 days, right? So if I'm here on the 1 hour and this is my range, right, to trade, where's my extreme? Where's my decisional? Only I can see an extreme right here, right? Because if you mark price, right, you could see this is the low that led to a higher high broke above this. This is a higher low that led to a higher high. So my only range is right here. Then what can I see, right? I can see what? A resistance level, right? This was a resistance level at some point. You could see tap, fails. This was a medium inducement for that day, right? Comes back. This was an age of high. So if I open this, you could see this is an age of high, right? I just leave it closed because it's easier to analyze. So you can see resistance level, medium inducement, go sweeps, age of high. Resistance become what? Support. Boom, 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 bounce. Inducement of this what? Resistance and support level into a mitigation of this what? Low that led to a higher high, give you a trade. So I understand my dealing range is from this low to the high highs. All right. Now, all I have to figure out, okay, where can potentially liquidity be, right? Because I understand I'm far away, right? And this area is good for a reaction. I doubt it's going to give you a high high when it comes back here, but it's good for a reaction for the session. You get maybe a 1 to 10, a 1 to 8, 1 to 7, whatever. I understand, okay, we all the way up there. Okay, so where is the liquidity? Okay, where can I see liquidity? Because I understand this today is not gonna come mitigate, and there's no like a decisional here. This is only extreme. This boom led to a high, right? There's nothing in here, so I'm like, okay, where can I see liquidity? Okay, I can't see liquidity here, right? So I'm like, okay, let's see psychological levels. Okay, so 1900 is a psych level. So boom here. Okay, let's see coordinates. Okay, that's 1900 major psych level. Okay. All right. This lies down what? A resistance level. You can see here. Price at this 1900, right? You got a couple different zones. 000, that's called a major key level for support and resistance. Okay. Then you got at 250s. So if you go 19, 250, right? So here somewhere, right? Boom. Coordinates at a zero. That's called a minor key level. Okay. Then if you go at 500, so somewhere here, 500, that's called a mid key level or psychological level or whatever you want to call it. And now if you go to 750, 700, 750 will be somewhere here. That's also a minor level. Now, the last area would be at 1200 or 2000 flat, and that's your other um, major key level, psychological level, whatever you want to call it. So, support or resistant traders, what do, right? Okay, they pick. That's how, like, if you ever see them or you watch a YouTube video and you see like these lines, these charts, these boxes, drawn, and you don't understand what is going on, right? That's what they do. And their beliefs, right? So this is their psychological level, right? These guys' pip ranges, they're not 2 pip range, stop loss, 30, 40 pip range, stop loss. So these guys, as long as the level does not close with a body candle above, is still valid. So this was a valid resistance level for them, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now, once the body close, right? When price comes back here, this is gonna be a what? When support breaks, becomes what? Resistance. So okay, if that's the case, at least I need this to clear for me to look for a buy. Okay? So let's delete some of these. And you can see here, minor level. And you can see prices, what, wick is not body closing. People gonna be buying off here. But if we just delete these real quick, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is my only valid demand zone. I want price to come below this line, right? Below this line. And I'm saying all the way at a higher high after a what? A weekly major inducement. This was a what? A weekly high. Got smoked. So, and I'm saying at a higher high on the daily. Everything tells me what? Bearish. Don't buy. It tells me sells. So when I woke up this morning and I seen this, I'm like, okay, where are we, right? Open my age range. Okay, age is all the way up there.
Hmm? Nobody was awesome. He said,
Age is all the way up there, right? My level that I want to buy is all the way down here, right? Where can I see? And you can see, look, break, look, price breaks, test, then goes. So when I woke up today, I'm like, okay, we're here, right? This is the low that led to this higher high, right? I want to sell, but I really cannot sell without structure. So on M15, this was my main push from here to here. And I understand, a low probable setup. Um, we're saying at a higher high. We're set, we just wicked a weekly demand zone. So I understand all of that, right? But I see this level of liquidity. You could say this is a medium inducement. You could say it's not. Up to you. Doesn't matter to me, right? I'm just showing you what I did. So from here, right? All I was waiting for this is just the wick to wick down in session, right? So that right there, you could say just equal lows, triple bottom, call it whatever. So I understand these areas, right, is really is it's not the best thing to do to try to buy from these areas, right, after a major inducement on a weekly, right? So, but for me to sell this, I need more structure. For me to sell this, I need to see, okay, complex pullback started. Now I could mess around and try to sell this, right? Because from here, price could potentially mitigate this and go make a higher high. Is very low probable setup to go from here, make a higher high. Very low probable, but it can happen because what? This is a low that led to a higher high. Price 100% could just sweep this, go make a higher high. And now me, I'm trying to sell it, you know, and it just it goes bad. So for me to try to sell this, I need M15 like at least two legs. At least two legs on M15 to try to understand. Okay, complex pullback started. Where is my zones? Let me pick, let me choose, see what's going on, right? So now, if you see here, what is price doing? This is a high, right? That led to this low. Price retrace here, right? Made a new lower low, right? Mitigated this, whatever this is, right? Price went back up and did what? An inducement of this area. Now you can see here, boom, inducement, okay? And I cannot
Go
sell this yet. But now look what has happened, right?
on.
From this high makes what? This low. So now if I go in M5, you're gonna see it very clear. You can see that's very clear on M5. So here you could say this is equal highs, you could say inducement of equal highs, whatever works for you, you know what I'm saying? So when I look at this and this area swept this morning, mitigated this, I
No.
understand I could get a reaction off here. So I ended up buying from here, boom, a 1 to 3, right? That 1 to 3 I closed and it came back, right? Cool. I understand. It's just a reaction setup. It's nothing like nothing too crazy about it, right? But now when you see here, you go to M15 and you can see this is the high that led to this low, right? You go to M15 and you look, okay, if this is the high that led to this low that broke structure, where is the trap? Okay, now let's see here. Why does price retrace up here, right? Come back down here, induce before it goes. There's something there, right? This is break, test, price, push low, comes back, induce before it leaves. So okay, this is first inducement. Now I'm coupling, I'm combining everything. Mind you, we're in M15. This is not 1 minute, right? Now I'm combining everything to try to what? To try to sell it because now I have more structure to work with to understand. Okay, now complex pullback has started. I could see M15 structure turn bearish. So now I could, potentially look for a setup. So okay, here I could see this you could say medium, minor, major, whatever you want to call it. We're not gonna get into that argument. So from here, I can see, okay, inducement breaks low. Okay, cool. If this is an extreme that led to a higher high, price mitigate, induce high, and break low, automatically this becomes for me what? A smart money trap. So, okay, if that's a trap and I see inducement high, break low, you could trade this, right? Obviously, I didn't trade it in London, but I traded in New York. So I'm trying to see what happens, right? From here, what can we see? We can see this level right here. Go wick, body, extend, whatever you want to do. Okay, so from here to here, I can see, okay, this area had a lot of wicks, right? A lot of touches here. Boom. And I told you if it does not close Below the level, these guys keep buying because why? I used to do the same thing. So they look for a level like this, and look, what does it lie down with? So now look, right? All I told you about earlier now comes in a full loop, right? Look, what did I say? 750 is a what? A minor key level. So now look, 9,750. What does that lie with, right? Look, 9,750. That's a minor key level for these break test traders. So what they do is they do this, right? Like I was just showing you. And if this does not close as a body candle below, they keep buying. This is a support level for them. So I was like, okay, this is a support level. Boom, I can see here. Boom, boom, boom. Does not body close, goes up, induce. All right. Now we broke it. What does that? When support breaks, what does it become? A what? A resistance. Boom, boom. Here. Then we go up here. I'm like, okay, so if this is the high that has led to this low, right? Price retrace here. How far is that? After manipulating these areas, right? So I'm like, okay, from high, this is the wrong one, but okay. From the high to the low. Okay, we reach what? 68.6, 61.8. So I'm like, okay, that's a valid area. This high to low price reached a premium zone for price to go down. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is a valid high, right? So now I'm trying to see where is the high, where is the low, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is a valid inducement that manipulated what? These support that became resistance. This is another valid inducement. So I'm like, lovely, lovely stuff. This is a valid inducement right here. So from here, I drop down to the M1 and I'm hunting, right? I'm hunting for a setup. And this is the high that I'm talking about. This is the high, right? Now I can see what? What can we see? We can see, let's zoom in here quick, right? Look, we can see a low, a high, high, low, fails to make a high, high, right? Once it fails to make a higher high here, you can see a minor induced a level to the left. All this is on M1, right? But when it comes back, what does it do? It does a break, a test. Look, it breaks this level, test, minor inducement right here. Okay, so now I'm piling all this up, trying to find zones of reactions, trying to see where can I go. Okay, now where does the session open? Okay, so now from here, where are we? Okay, I'm here. So now I understand this is a high that led to a low, right? If I pull my fib from high to low, boom, boom, here. Okay, that reached 61.8, mitigated, valid. Okay, cool. This is a lower high that makes this lower low. Okay, fib tool, high to low. All right, we have 50%. But what is this 50% is, right? I'm like, okay, what is going on here? What's happening in this level? Is there you know, any level that's gonna get manipulated before I could get in? So I'm looking at this, right? I go to M15 and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Let me see. Did I miss something? And I'm like, okay, this is a high that led to a low, 50%. Where is 50%? And I see this level that had wick, 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 right? Price broke. Look, price broke, wick, broke, wick. So if you just look at this level, right? This lies down with that 50% that people just wick, 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 and just trading, I guess. You could call it break test, you could call it whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, okay, where's the next valid zone? Here is kind of far. This area is far, right? So because if I'm here, right, Now I have to make it logical. If I'm here and I want to trade there, and I understand New York session only moved 47 pips. If I wait for this zone all the way up here that I like, right? This is 40 pips. Does it sound realistic that session open here, push 40 pips just to mitigate me, right? Because yeah, price just coming to mitigate me there, right? 40 pips. Then I could get a 40 pip down or a 20 pip down. That does not sound realistic because if your session move 47 pips, it's not gonna come all the way up there 40 pips just to mitigate you, just to drop down again, right? That does not happen. I mean, if it does happen, at me and show me, but that doesn't happen. So I'm like, all right. So if I'm trying to sell, I have to sell from one of these areas. These areas I have to sell from. So okay, now we drop down. Okay, 3 minutes, nothing clear. 1 minute. Okay, so now okay, let me see here, right? So I can see what price broke this low, and you will see that price does this all the time, right? Price does this all the time. High to low, right? Price breaks, makes a high, goes low, right? This is break test. So I'm like, okay. So if I want to get in, I want to get in here or that high, but this high is already mitigated. This high, I can see a little bit of a demand zone right here. So I'm like, or a supply zone, sorry. So, okay, now I can see, okay, this high here to here, if I want to get in here, this has to be a trap. This has to be an early seller's trap. This high, this high cannot go lead to a lower low because if this goes to a lower low, what does that mean? I'm just wrong, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to see what? An early seller's trap. What can you see? Price comes here, mitigate these guys, fake out, come up, right? So once I seen that, I was like, okay, this is the only area that I could see because you could say this is a trend line, right? This does not look like anything clean, right? But I'm not gonna tell you to drop to the 30 seconds, but that's what I did. So I'm just gonna show you, and that's what I usually do. I dropped out into the 30 seconds to find a clean zone. So I'm looking up here, okay? This is the only area that I could see. This order block right here. And if price has a wick right below an order block, is not gonna respect the wick. It's gonna take the wick out. So where's the zone? Where am I? Where am I? Hey, the chart changed. Something changed. Whoa, what happened here? Owanda. Let's see. Forex. Forex.com. Is there something different? Maybe I'm tweaking. Anyway, that's the zone I took right here. Of this touch. And my target was at least this low, but once I start seeing news kick in and price fly, so I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just let it run. So this was my zone. I don't know, man. Awanda sometimes have some crazy stuff going on. So this is my zone, right? And I closed at like I think 1 to 10, somewhere here. Somewhere here. And I had this high just like this. Because I know a lot of people don't notice, right? Or maybe you do. If you're selling versus buying. Okay? So this is stop loss, this is selling, and this is buying, right? Or this is selling and this is buying. Spread always sits on top. Spread does not sit on the bottom, right? Boom. So if I delete one of these and just leave one, spread always sits on top, right? So if right here, let's make this cleaner. Take that out, take this out, and put a line. Because I know a lot of people, like I mentioned this the other day, and a lot of people I apparently didn't notice. I just, simple information. So here you have price. Here you have spreads. Why do you usually cover the high when you sell, right? Why do you usually cover the high? Because look at this, right? If price is here, right? And price is doing this now, right? Price is doing this. Spread goes up. Spread what takes you out is not price, because you will see sometimes price will come all the way to your zone like this, but you already out the trade. Price did not take you out. What took you out is the spreads. Spread always stays on top. So on your MetaTrader, whatever you're using, if you're buying or if you're selling, you always cover the high. You cover your commission, your spread. Point 0.5 spread, point 0.1 spread, whatever your broker you got. Right? Just go look spread per lot or commission per lot, $4, $2, $8, whatever, and calculate it and add it to the top. But in this case, right, a lot of people I see when they buy, right, say for example, a lot of people were trying to buy off this area, right? If spread what tags you in, if you want a small pip range, like a stop loss, I understand. But if price is here, right? If this is price, spread is up here, right? Because spread is always on top of price. So if you want to get in a buy so bad, or you keep missing buys where price is coming into your zone where you marked, but it's not tagging you in, it's because spread. Just add a little bit. I'm not telling you do it. I'm not telling you to not do it, but that's how it works. Spread is what tags you in the trade. Spread what tags you out the trade. Spreads is what gives you TP, not price. So when price comes here, if spread did not go below this, because spread is always on top, you do not get paid. So the second, this was the first trade. I just wanted to clear that out. But the second trade, right? I understand complex pullback, right? Complex pullback. And what does Urimi say? Urimi says what? News is just a what? Catalyst to move price. Price already wants to go that way. News is just like here, fuel. Let's go, right? So I'm like, okay, if this is the case, this is a lower low. This is not a demand zone. This is a news wick. Okay, nobody should be buying off a news high or a news low. So I'm like, okay, if this is a news wick, where can we go? Now, all right, I need a high to a low. High, low, new dealing range, right? This is the new dealing range. Boom. This high and this low, right? Where is 50%? Where can I see 50%? Okay, let's see here. Boom, from high to low. Okay, 50% came, give a reaction, fake out, reacted off what? 61.8. I'm like, okay, this could be a trade. So here and came down here, right? So I'm like, okay, if this is not a demand, that means this is what? This is a lower low. Lower low is not a demand, right? Plus a what? A news wick or a candle, whatever you want to call it. This is not a demand zone, but people gonna be buying off of it, right? So I'm like, okay. So if this retrace a proper retracement, and now we having this push, I could find a setup off here. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Can I see a zone? I'm like, okay, this is the last low that made the higher high. This is what? 50%. What does 50% lies with? Break and a test. Price breaks, test. This is a test area. So I'm like, okay, so if this is an inducement of this, a minor inducement, right? So now I'm just stacking up the puzzles. If this is a minor inducement and this is the last low that led to a higher high, what does price do? Price breaks. You will see this all the time happen, like time and time again. This price breaks here, goes test and push lower. Okay, so if I want to get into the trade, I need to be on top of this wick. Okay, My limit has to be what? On top of that wick. And I know the zone is kind of mad. It's not like a small pip range zone. It's not a small pip range zone. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be where I'm gonna take this trade. Cover the high, whatever you want to do. So I'm like, all right. So if this is a break test and price push lower, and you can see here, why does it pause and go lower before mitigating you, right? This is always a trap. You will see this. Don't believe me? Go back test it. This is gonna be always a trap. This area right here is always a trap where you see price, boom, breaks a low, goes high, okay? Breaks, test, comes back, and when it comes back here, you will see a pause, goes down before the real inducement. Go back test it. I'm telling you right now. So this for me became what? A smart money trap, just due to being a lower low, a Newswick, and price is what overall on a bearish retracement. So this became off the rip smart money trap. And this is a high, okay, that hasn't led to a low, but is going to lead to a low, which that's what I wanted to believe because this also where price came here, react, fails, induce, then breaks. So I'm like, okay, this is the area. And just 1 to 3 and close at the low. And that was the two trades that I took today. But this exact same thing happens like every single day. Like, every single day. Like you will see price here. Like, let's see. Log. I gotta go pray soon, but here, let me show you this right now, right? So now look how this price does this every time. So just just look at it, right? So I'm saying look at it, then go back test it. If it does not work for you, it doesn't matter. You did not lose anything, right? Because don't just believe anybody, right? If somebody comes here and start telling you stuff, don't just believe them because there's a lot of people that fake profitable, fake make it out, the hood, all of that nonsense, right? I'm telling you, don't believe me, go back test it. If it works for you, my bro, use it. If it does not work for you, it's not gonna make me less of a trader. It's not gonna not help me. Like, I don't care. If you use it, use it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying is if you hear somebody say something, or what I'm saying, or you see somebody or ask him a question, right? Because a lot of people have different opinions, see different things, a lot of things going on. I'm just telling you, go back test it. If it works for you, use it. If it doesn't work for you, what I'm saying, no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? But just notice how price moves, right? Price always has a what? Objective. Price always have a somewhere. It needs to go somewhere, right? Because now look, if this is A, point A, right? Where's point B? Point B is to break this low. If you say you bearish, point B is to break this low, okay? Now look, point A to point B, okay? Now you send out a lower low. Where's the next objective? To mitigate something, right? This is your what? Now this is your decisional zone right here. Look what does price do every time. Look, it goes in there, right? Pause, come down, then the real inducement happen. Just go back test it. Don't believe me. And I just call this a break and test. If you call it something else, you know, whatever, but this is a break test for me. So I see price break to the low, test, push lower, and comes back and induce. And this is the same thing that I took the trade with, and I took the trade with, and the same thing I trade with every day. Go back test it. If it does not work for you, it does not work for you. But don't just go try to do this tomorrow. Go back test and make sure, fact check this, Since we are bullish, I thought the M15 sweep in New York was a IDM. Okay, bro. Question, right? Question. You're right. You're right. It is a medium inducement. 100%. It is a medium inducement. Like the one in New York that happened, it is a M15 low. right? But now you just have to make sense of this, right? You see all of these inducements, right? Or maybe you didn't see them. Will a major inducement on the weekly outweigh a medium inducement or not? Okay, if I'm saying this wick is a major inducement on a weekly level, right? It swept a weekly level, right? Will this, right, outweigh this M15 inducement or not? If your answer is no, trade a bullish. If your answer is yes, you trade bearish. My answer is yes. A major inducement, when I'm saying at a high high, outweighs this level. What is this level? This is nothing. You know, do you even have a zone? No. So it's not like, you got what I mean? How would I know it's valid? Which zone are you talking about, bro?
The second one, bro. The second cells you took.
Oh, like,
That one
okay.
you're showing.
You're talking about right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bro. So now look, right? Just mark structure, right? Mark structure.
Oh, you see the first
Look, look,
high.
look, look. Just 1 second, right? Oh, this
Yeah.
high you talking about, or here?
No, no. Yeah, that one. I thought
Okay,
that was a
okay.
breaking test.
So now look, high, low, lower high, lower low. If you're gonna go bullish, what do you need to break? You need to break this high, right? So if you
Yeah.
say this is the high that led to this low, right? Just bear with me 1 second. If you put your foot from high to low, what are you reaching? Premium zone, right? Premium level,
Yeah.
right? Okay, if you reach premium level, right? What is supposed to happen from here? A new lower low, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if a new lower low is supposed to happen and you see price coming up with what? Trend line here, right? And this is a low because now if you say it has to go make a higher high because we're on a M1. This is not this is not like M15 where you could say this is internal, structure where I could take this. This is M1, right? This is a
Yeah.
low that has failed to make a higher high. And price is going to what? A supply before it's coming back to a demand. What does that make this? Does that
SMT.
make that smart money trap or not? What do you need for a smart money trap? A reaction. This smart money trap cannot go make a higher high. Because if it goes makes a
Bro,
higher high, I'm wrong. It's not a trap.
bro, bro.
So if you look at it that way, you know what I'm saying? This will be your zone. Where price here, and you can see break, test, push low, comes
It's,
mitigate, and look, when price coming back, look, it always makes trend line. Like
Okay. Yeah,
let me
yeah,
show
yeah.
you.
I was looking at it as that high, that high failed to make a low, and therefore it could be swept
Look.
and go, further up.
Price price objective, bro, always has an objective, right? Price, if it's moving bearish, is not gonna just come here, mitigate this, fails to make a lower low and go break it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay,
So
yeah, I get
so
it.
you just have to read price. Like here, you see low, high. Price breaks it, comes up, which is a test. If you say this is not, so be it. I'm not about to argue with you. Price, look, came to a what? A supply. This is the supply, right? This is premium zone right here. Came to supply before it comes to demand. Now you're saying this is a smart money trap. You need a what? An inducement, right? Where will be the inducement of this high, right? Now, if you go to GU and you use divergence, for example, right? And you look at this high, look, this is making a higher high. This is making a what? A lower high. That age you sells not up to you. I do use divergence, and that's exactly how I use it with a what? A plan already. I know what I'm doing. I'm just using it for like a cherry on top. So don't go tomorrow and see divergence and just trade based on divergence because you're gonna get burnt. But I just use it as a cherry on top, okay? I see this. Okay. This is what I'm looking for here. What? Inducement mitigation, right? That's what I'm looking for because I'm looking to sell from here. So this cannot go up. This area cannot go make a higher high, right? I'll look here and I see price, induce, mitigate. What is price doing here? Breaks. This high right here is equivalent to that high. This high right here is equivalent to this high. Go back, test it, do whatever you gotta do, right? So look, this is making a higher high, this is making a lower high, and I'm expecting here a mitigation. I don't care about this. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the cherry on top. That was like, you had time window, you had a smart money trap, you had liquidity, break test, all the stuff that you need
Okay, yeah,
to take it.
I get it now, bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
bro,
very
no problem.
much.
Yeah, man, sometimes it happens. Sometimes, I miss trades and like, once it happens, I go back and I'm like, ah man, now I know I see it. But sometimes like live market, it gets to you. Why
Max, okay, no problem. Yow man maa ngi war a ñëw génn si ñi xam naa su bëree bëri 10 minutes rek. Yow soo nekkee si côté métro soo nekkee fële na la tuddee si côté sa side mun naa fa.
I don't know what he was saying. Anyway, why was the low before Asia and SMT and not a medium inducement? Before Asia, where are we talking about? Low before Asia. You're talking about this? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
I mean, it is technically it is a medium inducement, but you gotta understand where you at, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if you say this medium, like, it is a medium inducement based on the definition of the price. A structure low of previous day, it is a medium inducement that happened in time window. You just have to understand that this area leads to a reaction. This is not going to give you a high. Price is coming back from a weekly major inducement. Major inducement outweighs this medium inducement when you're saying at a high. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the only reason that it just gave you a reaction. And I did trade this reaction for a 1 to 3. But you just have to understand this is only a 1 to 3 trades, a reaction trade, nothing more. You get what I mean? Like I wouldn't trade this for like, expect that high to break and this high to break. It does not make sense. From high time frame perspective, doesn't make sense. From a lower time frame perspective, doesn't make sense. From even a liquidity perspective, it doesn't make sense.
This morning, why were you trying to buy up and your target was above Frankfurt?
What, me? Why am I trying to buy from here?
Yeah, your target was above Frankfurt in the morning when
No,
London opened.
I closed 1 to 3.
Okay. Okay.
The
All
reason why
right.
I'm trying to buy because I wasn't trying to sell until I see more structure like this. So
Okay,
for me,
that
after
trade,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
that trade was before Asia low was taken, I think.
Oh no, I did take a trade here. Yes, you're right. I did take a trade here, but I did hit break even.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you look at this, look, right? This area, right? Look, this happens every day. I'm telling you, this is exactly what happens. Look, right? This is the low, high. If you go fine tune this is a minor inducement, right? Just go look at it, right? Look what happens. Break of this high, price pulls back for a test. So if I want to buy, I have to get in below this line. Go back test it. Don't just add me. So just go back test it. Look where price goes before it comes to react. Right? Why does price do this? Yeah? It has to be something there. So I was in from here, from this order block right here, into a 1 to 3, but it didn't go to 1 to 3 and it came back at my break even. Then I was in from here to a 1 to 3 because
Okay, but you take Frankfurt high.
it didn't take Frankfurt high. Frankfurt high is right here.
Because I was targeting that too, but now I understand.
I mean,
Thank you.
I understand what you're saying, but you just gotta understand Frankfurt high is not always an SMT. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like
always. Okay.
if price is like in this instance, right? in this
Mm.
instance, this is Frankfurt low, right? Look, Frankfurt low
Yeah.
give us a reaction, became what? Smart money trap, induce. Look, got taken out, right? So this was the trap. Sometimes both of them are traps, sometimes just one of them is traps. So, like, if you're saying it's a bearish market, like, I didn't expect this high to break. I was just looking for a 1 to 3, just a reaction trade. So,
Okay.
if you're if like when you wake up and you see a major inducement on a weekly time frame, right? You know price is gonna give you a bearish reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I just don't trade it until I see M15 structure shift. Once I start seeing okay, M15 structure shift, that's when I personally trade them.
Okay.
You get what I'm
No
saying?
problem.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
Salam Yasin,
What's up, my bro?
how are you?
Alhamdulillah, man. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I just have a quick question before I have to go make Maghrib because it's drawing in on that time. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, you see that extreme supply zone, the inducement supply zone that formed in London, the one that you said,
This
at New York. No, not that one. The one to your right. Yeah,
this right
that
here.
one.
Yes,
No, no,
sir.
no, no. The one in the middle. The one in the middle.
That.
I think. No, no, no. Between it, between
Oh, okay,
the.
okay, okay, okay. Hold on. I got you. I got you. Let me zoom in on this. Man, I gotta quit drawing in these things. Now look, it won't even clean. Let's see. Are you gonna clean? Yep. All right. Sorry. Yes, sir.
The one
This high.
above, the one above. No, the one above.
This. Yes.
No, 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 no. It's the one with the red box.
This.
No, to the left. One more time.
Okay.
One more time, one more time, one more time.
Yeah.
The last one to the left.
Last one. This.
Yeah, that one. I
Okay.
wanted to ask, yeah, I understand what you said when you mentioned was New York open for price to deliver, 40 pips up to go tap into that extreme area. Like, I understand price made a medium inducement outside of the time key window, and I stood maybe there is a possibility that we could trade to that extreme. I understand it was a higher pip range, but say for instance, it did have to trade into that area, would you still consider sales from that area,
No.
knowing that price is basically
No.
exhausted from the pip range, or would you just
No.
leave it there?
So if this is a normal day and like price like in a high time frame is below 50%, I would look to buy this medium inducement. But just because this medium inducement does not outweigh a major inducement plus an M15 structure shift, I really don't care for this medium inducement, right? So, like, if you're looking to sell from here, might as well just look for a buy setup into here because price is never gonna come 40 pips up, which is your whole session pip range is that, right? It's not gonna make it all the way up there, then give you a trade all the way down there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like just like of like just common sense, right? If I have gas only to go one way, right? Say this whole day I have $50. This $50 get me 100 kilos, right? I cannot go with the same $50 from here to here, 100 kilos. Now I'm at zero, right? How am I gonna
yeah,
make it down? I just have to fall down, right?
yeah,
How else would you come down if you go from point A to point B with $50 and all you have is $50? There's no way you're gonna come back again because your balance now is at zero, right?
yeah,
Same thing with pip range. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at this zone, yes, I absolutely, I really wanted to sell from this zone. Clean zone, beautiful. This block, I really wanted to sell from it. But when I just seen, okay, 40 pips up, if price comes all the way 40 pips, it ain't gonna be a trade. It ain't gonna be I'm not even gonna get a trade because price is not gonna move after that. You get it?
yeah. I understand. I wanted to ask also, are you gonna upload this call? Because I mean, it's very insightful in my opinion. I just wanted to ask if you can because I have to go make Maghrib Salah now.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Don't worry. I gotta go pray Asr too. So
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna run.
Jazak.
I'm gonna
Okay,
run out of here soon. And yeah,
okay.
I'll upload it on my YouTube. I'll put
On
it
your YouTube.
Yeah, I'll put it public.
Okay. Okay. Jazakallah,
My
brother.
guy,
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah,
quick
bro, no
question,
problem.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, bro, what's up?
It's like you was talking about the fact that the trade that you just explained right now, that if it tapped the fact that it tapped your supply zone before it went to the SMT, you knew that sales were valid. So my
Yes.
question is, what if it did the opposite? Let's say it tapped your SMT.
I wouldn't take it. So if it
Okay,
comes here, if it comes here, then it comes down here, mitigate this before it comes up here, I'm not gonna trade that.
so another question, I took a GU buy where like it tapped the SMT or like the lower low before we go into the supply. So I took buys. Was
Yes.
that valid?
So it taps here before it give you the buy.
No, it taps without tapping the supply first. It taps the demand zone
Oh
first.
yeah,
the
that's good. Yeah, that's what you wanted to do. You want price to come here, get you in the trade before it comes here, because yes, we say it's a smart money trap, but it can hold, right? And if it holds, you want to be already in a trade. You don't want it to come here and just take you out. You get what I'm saying? And
Makes
especially if
sense.
you go break even on like M1 structure shift or whatever, however you go break even. You understand what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
understand that if I go on M1 structure break even and I get tapped in here from here to here and break even, right? So I want price to mitigate this before it mitigates that, because if price is doing this, mitigates that, now I have this push coming here, right? So
mm,
now price could do this before it goes lower.
mm.
You,
But I
you get
took
what I'm
another sell also on GU. I don't know if that's valid. After it tapped, the lower low. Like I was trying to ping pong it. If
If
you go,
if it went your way, then it means it's valid. If it didn't go your way, then just post it, or you know just post it and add me. We'll back this
yes,
or something.
yes, sir, yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Yeah, bro, I got you. How do I differentiate between our order flow and real trend line? Real trend line, bro, does not have inducements. Real trend line just trend. It builds liquidity, right? But you have to understand that a complex pullback builds liquidity, right? A complex pullback builds liquidity. So when it comes to the zone it needs to mitigate, it has something to target, which is the liquidity or the stop loss is up there. So I always thought like a complex pullback has to do this, right? Build liquidity and induce all that liquidity before coming back lower. That would be a main push. Like, okay, for example, right? So I'm gonna show you an example. Okay, we understand price was bullish, right? We we 100% understand price is what bullish, right? Now look at this complex pullback. Let me show you. Where is it? Where is it? Look at this complex pullback right here, right? Look, trend line, equal highs, you name it. This is a complex pullback. That's what it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think this is gonna do this, then come give you a trade. That really doesn't happen, bro. Complex pullback. I mean, once in a while you get it, like, you still have your medium inducements and stuff like that. Like you can see here, M15 high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Fails to make a low, medium inducement, and price will still go bearish. But when you see this in a complex pullback, don't worry about it too much, because these, even though it is a trend line, right? It is a trend line, but you can see all of these are inducements. Look, high, boom. This is an inducement. All of this on M15, right? All of this on M15. And you can see all of these are inducements. Price will come back later once it reach efficiency or pullback, whatever it needs to go. For instance, it went to this demand, and you will see it would just fly, it would just sweep everything, it would just sweep it. So, in a complex pullback, don't worry about that too much, as long as you can see valid inducements, right? Like, don't just go on M1 and try to see inducements, but, like combine M5 minor inducements with M15, medium inducements and stuff like that. Nah, bro, I'm not. I'm to be honest, I'm not looking for buys, bro. If tomorrow I wake up medium inducement or that level I was just talking about here, if that gets induced, 100% I'll look for a buy. But it's not gonna be a buy to go make a higher high. Just gonna be a buy to the next liquidity point or like pip range, session range, or something like that. Could be, bro. That guy is crazy. He might push price up. Inducement and continuation. I don't understand the question, bro. After internal BOS, just after your entry, yeah. Which entry? Hold on. You struggle with daily bias. Explain how you establish it. I establish it from daily to, you know, like just what we just did. This is your main push on 1 hour. You're sitting all the way at the high. Was more likely to sell down into here than potentially look to buy. Even though when price comes here, I don't think price is gonna go make a higher high. I think price is gonna make a correction, sweep some form of liquidity, and keep going down. But if this happens in my session, I'll trade that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, trade whatever. To be honest, I'm trying to cut on my trading, man. I'm trying to like take like two, three, maybe four setups a week, which is like valid, which like you know what I'm saying? If I hit SL, I wouldn't be mad. You get what I mean? That's all I'm aiming for. Like three valid trades a week. If as long as it hits TP, I don't care. Or even if it hits SL, but as long as it's valid, it's not like just you get what I mean? A day, bro, a day just like, if you still if you're still trying to make it, one SL, just go to bed and come back next session. You hit SL, don't just, over trade and counter trade and, all of that. Just go to bed, come back next session, you know. SLS Hotel, like Urimi says. You hit stop loss, you hit SLS Hotel. You gotta clock in. Yeah, I mean, two okay. Yeah, one trade a session, you'll be fine, you know. Or I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. Well, do whatever is best, like fit you. Like me, if I hit stop loss, I don't mind entering again because, I seen results where it doesn't matter to me. Like I know I'm not gonna blow my account, and I'm not revenge trading. Like if I see a setup, I'll execute. If there's no setup, then a lot of days I open a laptop and I'll just close it because I don't see a setup. How much you risking if the trade frequency is low? You shouldn't be risking anything. You should just go to sleep. If the trade frequency is low, that means it's a low probability setup. Just go to sleep, bro. Don't
No,
bother
no,
with
I
it.
was I was more talking about like if you only take three setups a week, wouldn't you risk more?
Nah,
If you
man.
get what I'm saying.
Only if I'm up. So like the first trade, if I'm up, yeah, I will risk more. If I'm not up, then no. But here's another thing, right? You saw with 100K, right? What's 1% of 100K? It's 1,000, right? So now if you in drawdown and you are 92K, right? You're say your account you have 92K. 1% is not 1,000, but I see people still risk 1,000 here, right? But that's your capital right here, 92K. You used to have 100K, and that's used to be the 1%. But I don't know. Like I said, everybody does it different.
Well, with that idea, bro, wouldn't it be like harder to get out of drawdown if you
No, it's
if
not
you got
because
$92?
the difference between 92K and 100K is $80, you know? So this will be like 920. You only risk at 920. 920 is 1% of the 92K. You get what I mean?
Will that make a big difference, you would say?
Will it make a big difference? Maybe we'll give you
Yeah.
one more trade.
I see.
You know, I don't know. You know,
Yeah, maybe that trade will get you out of drawdown. Maybe.
maybe you get what I mean? It'll give you one more trade. All right, man. I'm out of here, man. You guys stay blessed. Have a blessed day, man. I gotta go pray and go KO. I gotta go to bed.
Thank you for your time, man. Take care.
All right, man. No problem.